All right, hello everyone. Oh, I didn't put up my green screen. Let's take care of that. Yeah, green screen. You need to come up and be my friend. There you go. Green screen up. Yay! Look at me doing green screen stuff. Behind the green screen, oh, look, right. JD Lady, hello. Fernando, hi. Yay, I'm DC. You can go to my website, dclasair.com, to find all the things. I'm still working on getting StreamerBot going up, but yeah, behind the green screen, it's a wall with sound panels on it. No, not there. But hi, welcome on in. Thanks for joining me once again. If you're new here, I'm a producer of TTRPG Actual Plays. I'm moderator of a bunch of channels on Twitch, so you'll see me around, especially if you're in the TTRPG space in any way. And what else do I do? Oh yeah, on Fridays I talk about tech on Tech Friday. Amazing how that works. Monday and Tuesdays, video game. Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, video games. Wednesdays, sometimes Gunpla, mostly Gunpla, but right now it's crafting stream type things. I got some new pens in today that I want to show off, and then do a little bit of world building because I have some prep to do for a future D&D campaign. All right. So first up, oh yeah, I also made a bunch of TTRPG resources that you can use that I'll be adding to in the coming weeks. If you want any of those, they are all free. The Notion ones are going to go away and be replaced by Obsidian Vaults. But if you like Notion, I will. The links are all there to get them. Again, it's all free to use, so. Use it as you will. All right, let's see here. What else we got? All right, let's get into the pens. Hope everyone's doing good. Wednesday, so yay. Trying to think if I have anything else to say right now. I don't think I do. All right, so call down the window. Hey, crafting. There you go. Look at those pens and a pen case. And my planner that I'll eventually be using. And we'll try those all out. So, I'm gonna go avoid some pit traps and meet you over there on my other desk. All right. Nope. I gotta grab a thing. All right. Hello over here. I avoided the lava pit trap. I know it's my own room and I set pit traps for myself. Just in case. I mean, I never know when some interdimensional monster might come in. Should start copying over weeks from this year to next. Yeah. That can be quite a project. All right. Okay, everything's looking good there. As you look lovingly at my arm. All right, so here's the pens we have today. They are, let's see if I can get these right. Why I have the invoice next to me. So this is the Uniball Signo 207 Premier Retractable Gel Pen, silver body. Then we have the Uniball Zento Gel Pen, flow model, 0.5 millimeter, jade body, black ink. And this is the Uniball Jetstream Light Touch ink ballpoint pen, 0.7 millimeters. They just call this off black. And this pen case, because I'm starting to get a lot of pens. This is all from Jet Pens. So this is the, I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. Katsawa, and then it's LGABA. I don't know how the L and G are supposed to go together. Pen case, beige. Won a raffle from Pen and I can't remember where he put it. Oh no. So here's the tag that came with it. You can find all this stuff on Jet Pens. All right, so let's flip to where I was testing was the December pages, because I am not using the December pages. You can see our old pen test from last week. And yeah, so we got pages. All right. So let's start with the colors are great. Let's see, what do I want to start with? Start with the Uniball Signo 207 Premier Retractable Gel Pen. The big one with the squishy rubber grip. I like the squishy rubber grips on pens. This is another squishy rubber grip. Oh, that was unexpected. Okay. Let me move stuff out of the way. Okay, that's a really nice flow. To the pen. Yes, the squish is the best. Ooh, notebook holder picture. I will have to take a look later. So this is the Uniball Signo. It is, I mean, it's a thick pen. Here's my, this is a, yeah, here's the Uniball Jetstream, which is also has the same squishy thing. And it's a little thinner. And you can see the Uniball Jetstream ink right above it here. This is much darker. Flows out really well. Again, this is a gel pen, so we're going to expect the ink to be a little different. Flow is very nice. The raffle was a notebook pen holder with a Sakura multi-pen, which I haven't checked out. Ooh. So, other than feeling a little big, the Uniball squishy grip is great. I really like the look of the ink. It flows real nicely on the paper. Nice solid design here. All right, and let's go with the Jetstream Light, which is this one. So the grippy part is grippy. I don't know how well that comes up on camera. There is a slight color difference between grippy part and non-grippy part. It's very slight though, and they do have a different feel. So that's nice. Grippy part is grippy a little bit, you know. So let's see here. Where can I? Oh, we can write on these pages for this. Okay. This is the Uni Jetstream Light Touch. Not being as careful with my lettering. Light is L-I-T-E in this case. Oh, I'll bring that down for you. Okay, nice feel in the hand. The grip is good. I won't say it's fantastic. Like fantastic grip to me is squishy grip. Like nothing compares to this grip. Okay, but still a pretty good grip. Ink flow is solid. Not quite as flowy as this pen though. So depending how much, we'll do a Fibonacci sequence here. It's still pretty good. That's 0.7 millimeter. Yeah, not bad, not bad. All right, and finally we're going to try out the Signo 207 Premier Retractable Gel Pen. Or no, I'm sorry, we already did that. This is the Uniball Zento Gel Pen Flow model. Ta-da. Oh, that's interesting. The grippy part on this one is a little more smooth than the upper part here, which is weird. I'd think it would be the other way around, where you'd want the more grippy feeling material down here, but a little smoother. I do like the clip, because that's satisfying. Hi, Brian. Yeah, pen talk. Okay, let's see how I like it. This is the Zento Gel Pen Flow model. And this is a 0.5 millimeter ink. All right, I do like how the ink comes out. Oh, by the way, the light here is a ballpoint pen, so you're going to notice a difference between the ink there. The ink coming out is good. It's about the same amount of flow as this one when it hits the paper. Again, this is very flowy. But yeah, it's a good Good solid color. I like that. I just want to compare a couple things here. Let's get this one here. Just so I can have all three. But yeah, this is definitely, it looks like it's more, I don't know, I'll say more wet, if that makes sense. And flows out really easy. If you want a little more control over that, you'd probably want one of these two. This one having, this is the Jetstream Light Touch. This one has slightly better grip than the Zento. Again, the inks come out nicely. They look good. So yeah, if you don't like gel pens, then this is a good. This is a good ballpoint. All right, so comparing to pens of last week, let's see what ones I like from last week here. All right, so last week I really enjoyed the Pilot Acro Ball and the Pilot G2 Purple. So, okay, let me grab an Acro Ball then. Grab the... Let me grab the Acro Ball out of my Lockbee wallet, because that's where the black ink is where I keep. That's where I keep the black ink. Okay, so again, the Acro Balls have this nice grippy texture. It's not squishy grippy, but it's nice. It feels good. It's not a chunky pen. An all right size. Okay, the ink flow is good. It's not as, the flow isn't as much as these, and not like this one where it feels like a river of ink is coming out. Yeah, Acroball, and then let's compare it to this other Uniball Jetstream. This is the one that I did last night. Yeah, I do like the Signal ink. So far this has been my main pen for everything. Just because squishy grip. But I think I really like the acro balls. That's not a question. The ink is nice. Grip is good. I have to say, this is pretty good. This is the where did I just put the piece of paper somewhere that I need. Because I can't remember. Yeah. We have the here, that's the Zento. That's the 207. That's the Signal. Then the light touch ink is up here. So this feels pretty good. Sleep Nick, hello. Gray, hi. See all these pens and my brain defaulted to markers and crafting. Right? I like the feel. The ink flows out okay. Let's see here. So Jetstream, light touch, top. And then Signal is this one. And that's the Zento. Yeah, I think again, all these pens are pretty darn good. The only thing, I love this clip. The grip is a little weird on the Zento. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. It's not quite as comfy in my hand. That's the Zento right here. Light touch feels good. Not chalk pen like this, but it doesn't have nice rubbery grip either. So if I was looking at pens, again, kind of middle for every day. The Acroball is still pretty decent. The grip is nice. The texture there. The ink is all right. Signal, I have to say though, this is very smooth. Especially if I hold it this way. I mean, this is just gliding. Barely feel the friction between pen and paper. That's pretty good. So yeah. Oh, we should look at the back of this page here. See if we get much bleed through. No, not bad. There's So yeah. But what I like on the Zento is this clip, because this thing here, that's really satisfying. I like that. But yeah, I would like this part to have been the grippy material down here, because that's a little easier to hold on to than this. That's a little too smooth. Again, I'm really nitpicking here on pens. It's, all right. So out of these, I'd probably go Signo, and the light touch is nice. That might be a good balance between everything. And then just because of the grip, the Zento, out of these three pens, I'd probably think you gotta pick Nick's. There are a lot of options, and it's gonna be comfy and right. Yeah. So I think I'd probably go this order with just these three pens. This ink, the light touch though. I don't know. Compared to the Jetstream ink, the ink looks about the same. Again, this is a ballpoint, right? Not a gel pen. I think I like how this flows out a little better than my kind of everyday favorite, which is this, the Jetstream. So yeah, the only thing I would miss is the rubber grip. This is, again, a larger pen. Feels good, especially my hands. But this light touch is pretty good. It's a good balance. Like, for example, this, I can definitely kind of feel the weight of the squishy grip. Whereas overall, this feels like one smooth unit. If it wants to write. The ink doesn't look too different. But squishy grip. I'm addicted to squishy grip. So yeah, if you want a gel pen that just flows, I'd take this one. Some cases you can swap out the ink if you prefer the form factor of one and the ink of another. JetPens is great at showing what refills are compatible. Awesome. I mean, if you want something that just glides across your page with little effort, get this one. Again, this is the Uniball Signo 207 Premier retractable gel pen. But this is probably the smoothest glide across the page. I have. So I think if I had a top 4 out of all the pens I've shown off last week and this week, it would be these. The Acroball, the 2 Uniballs with the squishy bit, and this one. Standard ballpoint from India. Ooh. Yeah, squishies. So I'd say I'm kind of deciding between these 4. If you're gonna make me pick one as absolute favorite, I'd say it's among these. And really, I'm leaning more towards these 2 being the top slots. I just really like the balance of this one. Really nice. All right. Now, the holder in which I'm going to place all these pens in. Yeah, let's move that. This is, again, an L GABA. The L and G are next to each other. I don't know. That's how it has it on the invoice. Kutsawa pen case. I thought it was just going to be kind of a case like this, but no. I get pockets. So this is a weird little pocket right here. I don't know what I would use this for. There are other pockets. So yeah, take all the pens. Toss them in. Wait, I have more. Okay, some of these I might have to make a decision on what goes in here. But then my top pens, I can just put up in that case. And let's see if I can get this to close. All right, what's weird to me is the zipper is on the handle, and like this whole design here with the handle and zipper being one thing is a little weird. Get back in there, pen. Hey, it closed. Now there is a little flappy bit here that you can kind of reach inside, so this is definitely, I'm not going to carry all of these if I take a trip or anything. But for inside, pretty good. Pretty, the bottom is pretty solid. It's not very flexible, which is great because it can rest well. The handle is just a little weird. It feels weird with the zipper on it. Otherwise, they all get in there. You go in that hole. I made them fit. And if you want to see these other pens being tested, just go to YouTube and check out my VOD from last week. I did it. Oh, wait. I took the pen out of my Lockbee wallet and I didn't put it back. Where'd it go? Well, now I gotta find it again. I think it's up here, right? Yeah, okay. This is my travel pen. It's in my Lockbee. Though I might get... Not this one. I might get another one of these to travel with. Springleaf, hello. Again, I just like the Acro Ball. Smooth. This grip is excellent. But man, I'm kind of more I'm thinking about it, kind of digging this one. All right, keep that out because that needs to go back in my travel wallet. All right, and it's almost break time. So when we come back, I'm gonna go to my other computer and or my other desk rather, over there, and we'll work on some world building. I have a campaign I'm going to do next year, and I already have some things started off. It'd make me nervous that the handle is on the opposite side from the open flap. I don't trust gravity. Right? Yeah, gravity always wins. So, yeah, I kind of, yeah, I agree. This is not a case I want to carry around. This is just storage. But again, really, really nicely designed as far as that goes. Bottom is super stiff and flat, so it's not going to bend or anything. Going to retain its shape. Just this flappy bit is a little concerning. Other than that, I'm happy with it. You know, does its job. I do have some pens that already came in cases, like these Le Pen Flex that I've had for I don't know 5 years now, and then the Rasa, which I just got not that long ago. And since this is full, I can't get any more pens. This is it. My case is full. I'm such a liar. I know I'll probably get more pens at some point. And if you didn't see it last week, as my planner, Obonichi Tejo 2026. Some pages I don't really use too much, but I do like. The main draw for me was having each day have its own space, and Saturday and Sunday not combined into one rectangle, but every day has its own space. Plus, I can extend this line over to here and have even more space for this day if I want to. Looks for the closest extinguisher as your pants may be on fire. More pens are given, right? So yeah, that's why I like this. So yeah, if I want to just extend the line over here, it's pretty apparent. I don't even have to draw it out. I can tell that it would be part of the same day. I sometimes like the front calendars things. I mean, this view is kind of nice to have. I don't often use these pages too much. Like this view is where kind of birthdays go. Yeah, all right. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, I'm gonna open up Obsidian, and we're gonna do a little bit of the world building stuff for a future D&D campaign. I'm doing it on stream because it's kind of a campaign for various reasons. I had to drop off, but I would love to get back to in the relatively near future. So I figured might as well show my process and all of that when we get back. So I will see you in about 5 minutes. Right over there. It'll be great. Trust me, it'll be fun and profitable somehow. I don't know. Let's see here. Where is... I'm trying to find the app on my Android phone. There it is. All right. Be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around through the break. Let's get into some world building here. So, boop. So, goodbye. Goodbye, ink pens and planner. And come on over. Yeah, come on, this way, this way. Yo, come here. Come on, you can do it. There you go. Hello, Obsidian. Yeah. And then I need to go to this window. So, this is my current Obsidian vault that all my home games are going to go into. I will be releasing this for free for everybody in the near future, probably next week or so. At this point, so as you can see, I have name of campaign here. I'm not sure what I'm naming this campaign yet. And then, I just have the name of campaign, and then underneath it, I'll have databases, because eventually I need some databases, because the databases, or bases as they're called in Notion, let me zoom in, is how I organize my info. Otherwise, I just dump everything into folders. So we have DM info, world characters, monsters, magic items, campaign, adventure sessions, rules references. Since it's D&D, I put in my own D&D rules references. These are already available off my website if you want these as PNGs. I also have them as markdown files, so if you want actions, cards and tools, all that, go to dclasair.com and click on TTRPG resources. You can find all of these for 5th edition 2024. And then player info, and I can explain the green dot in a minute, as all the same. I wanted these numbers to match up. Otherwise, I would put campaign adventure sessions up here. I feel like players really are only going to have session notes. They're not going to have campaign adventures. These are more DM focused here, because everything for a player would be a session note. So I wanted the rest of these to kind of line up. So 1 is world, 2 characters, 3 monsters, 4 magic items, right? And we just dump them in here. Also, the campaign adventure session system is also available. Call it CAS. So if you want this as an Obsidian Vault, you can have it that way too. So first of all, I'm going to start off with stuff I remember. So Control N gets me a new note. And there were 3 locations that the party went to. And there was a forest with a ziggurat, and a town called Silverton, and a town south of that called Goldton. I know, right? And guess what they did? 1 mined silver, 1 mined gold. It's not that hard. The unique thing about this world is that well, first, wherever the players were, they popped in by falling, 100 feet up, and were crashing through trees and stuff. That was fun. So wherever they were, they weren't there anymore. They just fell down, and they're in this forest. And to their left, they could see a ziggurat, and to their right, they could, if they kind of peered through the trees, they could see very large feet and something picking up and uprooting whole trees. So they had a choice of, going to the right or exploring the ziggurat. They chose the ziggurat. The ziggurat was like, had a hag in it, and I made it a whole ziggurat, like a Baba Yaga hut, where it had the legs. This had large mechanical legs. So one of the players tried moving it and moving the mechanical bits and trying to make it move. after they dealt with the hag to go towards the thing that was uprooting trees, and they failed the roll, so the entire ziggurat fell down, and now there's a ziggurat on its side in the forest with the body of a hag in it. So that was fun. But once they got through that, as soon as they stepped out and started walking further, every step they took, paths lit up like little footsteps on a map. You know, you see on a map all the little feety steps sometimes. Went in every direction, in every way. Spread out in every direction, every step they took. And then every step they took, some paths would go away, other paths would come in. And depending where they went, you know, it depended on, okay, now these paths are open, now these paths. And it was just an interesting way to kind of give the players the idea that they have, there's a lot of choices. They can go multiple directions. But that's one of the features of the world, is that when you take a step, all the possibilities of where you can go open up before you if you're kind of in the outside world. So I wanted to start with Silverton. And then let's get some properties in. So I have slash commands enabled in Obsidian. So when I get the slash window, otherwise you can Control P and get this window. I think it's the Command P on a Mac. If you don't have slash commands enabled, you're gonna be Control P. But otherwise, add some properties, add a file property. This is a location type will be, it's mostly a settlement, I would think. And do I want any tags with this? Not right now. Location type, settlement, okay. And it just goes into the world folder. That's it. I have a way of telling me what it is. And later when I make a database, I just filter, okay, location type, settlements or cities, or settlements and cities, or whatever I want. And Silverton is in a sandy desert area. Slash commands, Jason, Freddy, Ghostface, Michael Myers. Exactly. Okay, so it has mountains in the background, and the mountains are where all the mining takes place for the silver. So it's a settlement of tents. Open for a few months. Out of the year. typically called mining season. And let's see here. Not necessarily all corporations, though, because sometimes you can be an individual and apply for a license to go mine silver in the mountains. So you could just be an individual or group or business, and you go into Silverton, and you bring your tents and all your gear, and then there are guards, and there's an organization that runs it to keep it fair and keeps track of where everybody can go into the mountains and mine the silver and come back. So the players also had the option of uh, purchasing a license to go mine if they wanted to, and hiring miners. Oh, another feature of the settlement is, because this is just magic BS, really. Settlement shifts slightly back and forth. A few, what do we want to say? Meters, inches. Yeah, let's go with meters. So where you come in at may not be exactly the same place you leave, because everything just shifted over slightly. So as you're approaching, as you're leaving, and it's just something residents get used to, and they've kind of tracked it down to where they can usually predict which way everything's shifting. So on day 5 of mining season, the entrance is slightly over here, and on day 7, it's back to where it was, that type of thing. So that is a mystery for the players to solve if they want to, or they can just leave it alone and not bother. You just want to go and mine silver, they can do that too, which is what they did. And let's see here. Oh yeah, I can collapse that if I want more space. I can collapse this too, right? Yeah. Collapse that. Also, if you're wondering why everything is to the left, that's a setting in Obsidian. If I remember where it is, that would be even better. Yes, it's in editor and readable line length. You want everything sort of centered. Turn it on. I don't really like that. I need everything to the left, so I usually turn it off. When you first open Obsidian, this will always be on. So up to you, but everything I design is designed with readable line length off in mind. But if you like it on, go for it. All right, I'm just writing down some key details about it, and then any specifics I'll fill in later. Or any, longer, I should say, these are specifics, but any longer passages I want to say about it, just put in later. What I really need is just reminders of what this place is. It doesn't have to be an exhaustive list of its history and everything, which might be a section I put down later. So actually, let's add that in now. If I come up with a history for the place, so a couple hashtags, number signs, whatever you want to call them, history, then I can have history there. But the current things, the present things the party are going to know, we'll make a line. Make sure I got a space between the line, everything. The important stuff for the party to know when they're there doing stuff, that comes first. So that's all this top section. So one organization runs Silverton. I can't remember if I named this organization anything. Uh, yeah, the only thing you really don't do in Silverton is take from another miner. That'll get the guards on you faster than anything else. If you're taking from another miner or another company, and that might also get you in trouble with that company as well later on, or that organization or that group of people as well. But that is the largest no here, because it is just a bunch of tents. It is people trying to make a living and going in, mining some silver, coming back out, and they get a share of it, of the profits, along with, and then the company takes the silver and does whatever they do with the silver. So that was kind of the one big rule of Silverton is don't steal from another one, because there are guards around, and that's the big thing they enforce. Other things you do, they kind of look past, but that one, no, everyone's here to work hard. You only have so long to get work done. They don't have time to mess around with people taking stuff from others and things like that, and breaking down livelihoods in that way. So it really is, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. Exactly. Let's see here. Our guards hired by what organization? Because again, I don't think I ever named the organization, or if I did, I don't remember what it is. But it's hot. The days are long. the it's only open for a short amount of time, mostly due to heat, because it gets very, very hot after a few months, and it's impractical to have people mining here for some of the year. So they kind of worked out, okay, this is our season where it's reasonably comfy for people to actually go and make a living and come back, and whatever contracts people have with various companies is all their business, as long as they're going, okay, here, this is your tunnel, and then if someone finds a new vein of silver, they get first rights to it, that type of thing. But that's all handled by the organization that runs Silverton. To obtain enforcement of one big law. Not steal from other miners. Just don't. Now, there's all sorts of other things that could go on, but that's the main rule here. What else? What else? What's the other? Anything else I wanted to add about this right now? Because that is. Yeah, those are the main things of Silverton. So that'll cover Silverton for right now. Make another new note. That's Control N to just make a new note. You notice how it just opened a new tab right alongside, so I can go to Silverton. I can go to the session. I don't need session outline open. But I can also, if I want side by side. So this is going to be for Goldton. Again, add a property. And now that I have location type as a property, it'll be in my drop-down list. This is a proper city. And if I still want to see my Silverton notes, let's pop that open. I can go to Silverton, right-click, open to the right, and my Silverton notes just pop up right next to it, which is a feature of Obsidian I really enjoy. Because you can just keep opening tabs to the right, and these will squish down and still show you some info. I think practically maybe like 6 tabs you can get here before everything's just like, nah, it's too small. I don't. But if you want to do that, you can have, multiple tabs open to the right. Okay, Goldton is a city. And difference here is this is a large city. This is a water deep level city almost. And it is run by 3 factions. Whose names I can't remember. I think they all started with H, though. So just the last names. So it was I probably used Harris. Let's say the Henrys. And oh, I need another last name. I'll probably change this later, but and the holdouts. Yeah. They currently have a very loose truce between them. Each faction runs. That's not approximately. There we go. One-third of the city. And by running one-third of the city, they control all aspects of their third of the city. It's not that one does this, like one faction is probably better at something than another, but they all have similar things. So maybe you want your flour from the Harris part, and your bread from the Henrys, but Harris still sells bread too because there's bakeries and things like that all over. City is decorated in gold, whether it just be some etchings along the side of the building. It's the main thing. It's not like every building is made of gold bricks. That'd be weird. But yeah. Uh, each faction has their own colors. So that you can always tell when you're leaving one faction area to another. You see, but just the tricolored flag. Up at the line, and if you don't see another tricolored flag, well, you're probably still in the same area of town. Let's see, what did the players find out? Oh yeah, they found out two of the factions working more closely with each other. I don't remember which factions they were, but again, I'll just make it up when we get closer to running this. Gold is mostly mined out of the caves. The south of town. Yeah, and again, we just take Goldton and we drop it into the world folder. And I'm going to make a note just for the capital. I have no other details of the capital other than it was far to the east of the other cities, and the forest and the with the ziggurat. I never named it. Never came up with a name for it. So it's just the capital. Oops, I want properties. Oh yeah, I can just start typing location type. And it is also a city. Again, I don't know what it's called. Working on that. So eventually, and in characters, I have PCs and NPCs, so everyone, the main people of the three families, their names will eventually go into the NPC, have notes in the NPC folder, which I labeled 02-1 just because 02 is characters, -1 PCs, -2 NPCs. Same thing here. Because again, I wanted parity between the DM and the player info, and then I can write whatever I want here in my DM section, and then when I want my players to do it, well, I can just say, make a copy. Here's a copy of a note, so I could call it Goldton player view or something like that, and then I can take out what I don't want the players to know, and I still have my regular note preserved. And then I would just move this into the player world folder. The other nice thing about Obsidian is that all of these notes, if you look at your file structure on your PC, wherever you decide to keep your vault, all these notes are separate markdown files, .md files. So you can open these in any text editor. So if for some reason Obsidian goes away, that's why I don't use a whole lot of plugins, is because I just really want the text of what's going on and some key details. I mean, if you want more than this, by all means, type away. Right? Oops. But at one point, I'll define the colors for each family. I'll figure out the factions. That'll be part of it. But mostly, I just provide myself an outline of things or the details. That's all I need. Oh, keep clicking the wrong mouse button. All right. Oh, I'm going to make a copy of this because I do want to show something in a little bit. Put that there for now. So yeah, we have the capital, which I never figured it out yet. We were only a few games in before not a bad thing happened, but someone else wanted to run a game, and they were having they were in a certain place at that time, and I'm like, okay, you really want to run a game? I can put this game on hold. And so I did that, and we never really got back to it. And then that person's game didn't last beyond a few sessions. And I'm like, well, okay, now I kind of wish I just kept going with my game. So eventually, my home group will get back to this, and we'll do kind of a soft reset of what's going on, because I do want to continue on with this world and the idea of all these branching paths being presented to them every step they take. And how when you take a step in one direction, other paths open up to you, but some close to you as well. and they didn't figure that part out. So I'm not gonna put it here in case any of them decide to watch this video. But there's a reason for that. So yeah, that was one of the bigger world mysteries I presented them. But they were happy exploring off, Silverton and Goldton. Eventually, they wanted to get the capital because they're also not home, right? Wherever they were, whatever realm they came from, they teleported in, some ridiculous amount of feet up, 100 feet up. I'm like, okay, tell me how you slow your fall, and if it's fun, and like if you have a cape and use it as a parachute, and that's what you tell me you do. Excellent. We'll have you roll. But yeah, it's fun to have your players, fall from a height into the world suddenly. And so they kind of had to go around, and maybe the capital actually had some information for them where they could figure out how to get home. Or maybe they wanted to build their lives here, and that's sort of their one of their big character choices to make as well. Is you've done a lot here, you've built relationships, you have different things. Do you want to stay here? Is this place okay for you? And then maybe there's some messaging network to talk to the home base. Maybe they cut off all ties, depending on how the characters felt. But yeah. So once they got far enough to where those options kind of opened up, that would have been other character choices for them too. If they want to, the adventure would continue. They could continue the world, but at least the start of those plans, depending what they wanted to do, could be built or could be made, or they would have, okay, so how do I get to this back home, and my home's here? Here's the quest to do that, and they'll find some of those along the way as they solve other things going on in the cities. I believe this was also the game where they went into one of the mines, and they had basically a pit trap, and it opened up on them, right? And it was quite a fall, and they could try to, I think they managed to get some rope across the other way and things like that. But one of the players fell. I had all these bug creatures come around, surround them, and take them away. And then the other player, now they had to work to find their friend as well, which they did, and that was pretty fun. If it was this campaign, I think it was this campaign. I don't know. I've run a lot of games, y'all. They kind of mix together. That's why I'm making notes for myself in Obsidian. So yeah, and let's get to the green dot. So maybe wondering what this is about. So I told my players about the screen garden thing, and I said, well, if you want to do that, it's this much, and they said sure. And so they, like you all kindly did for Tech Friday, they donated to have a space in Screen Garden as well. That was amazing, and this means that this is synced in the screen garden space, so they only get the player info, what's in the player info folder. So let me go back here. Boop. And oh, I gotta check something real quick. Da-da-da. Okay, we don't have to worry about that. Don't have to worry about that, and don't have to worry about that. Okay. Do-do-do. Okay. Sorry, I had to check something. All right. So let's come here and let me open up Screen Garden and then another browser here. Tomorrow I am taking off because there is a rather large art festival going on in my city or in a nearby city. And it happens every year. And the first day of it is tomorrow. So I'm going to go look at art tomorrow. And then we'll have Tech Friday as usual. Because it runs a couple weeks, so not missing out. But usually it's not overly crowded on the first Thursday because people are still working. Okay, let's. And then I can get to some of my favorite places. Okay. So boom. All right. So Screen Garden is a website, screen.garden on the right, and player info, and then here's the world. And now the only reason these are here is because these are the only ones with the only folders right now with notes in them. As soon as I put in a note in the characters folder or the monsters folder, that'll appear here too. World, Golden 1. Here's what we wrote. Right? It gives the location type up top like that. And they can add their, write things in this entry as well. Or they can create a new note and call it test note. Hi. And as you can see, I already have test note over here. And they can move it. And now test note is in the world folder. Just like that. And I can delete it here. Again, it's testnote.md because all notes are .md files, and you can just copy those .md files and save them on a different hard drive if you just want the notes. I would take your vault folder and save it somewhere so you have it in case Obsidian goes away. Now, if you want to use there's a lot of great plugins for look, heads up, notes deleted. That was cool. If you want to use plugins, because there are a lot of TTRPG plugins for Obsidian, by all means, use them. I'm going to add a few here. Probably the Dice Roller one, a couple others that I like. But I'm going to try to keep these notes as, markdown friendly as possible. Again, you can open markdown notes in Notepad, regular Windows 11 Notepad, and in Apple Notes. Or at least you can, you can save Apple Notes. You can save out to Markdown if you want. I don't remember if they open Markdown files or not. Yeah, so that is kind of the world tour. Again, you'll all be getting access to this outline here, or you can just copy it here. But and it comes with the campaign adventure session thing that you can already get. So the campaign outline, sessions outline, or sorry, adventures outline, sessions outline, and I've gone over this previously. Just look on my YouTube for the CASS video, CASS, campaign adventure sessions system. But yeah, so hopefully like that. And of course I have a templates folder so that if you want to make another campaign session outline, you can just, you know, adding a template. Once you tell Obsidian where you add your templates folder, I mean, you can name this anything. As long as you tell Obsidian that this is your templates folder, it doesn't have to be named templates. It could be named Bob. Doesn't matter. But yeah, so you go here and say session 5. So, okay, now I need a session note. So backslash template, start typing template, insert template. Here's my 3 templates currently. Session outline, bam. There's my session outline template. Now my players, I'm going to leave Chrysicon, hello, welcome in. For my players, I'm going to let them write however they want to write session notes. This is just for me running, this type of session note is just for me running the game. However they want to write their session notes, up to them, as long as they get into that folder. I don't care. And it's a great way to share information and to make sure I'm following what the players like, and I can answer if they have an interesting question that I haven't thought of. The way to give them that. So yeah. So look for this. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to call this yet, but I'll make it available either next week. I do want to write some instructions like I usually do, so that takes me a while. So probably next week, next couple of weeks, I'll get access to this. All right, what time is it? Oh, it is time to think about going. All right. So thank you all for being here. We looked at pens earlier, did some TTRPG campaign stuff, a little bit of world building. And let's see who's around to send a raid to. Stay tuned for the raid, please. Oh, mute myself. We will. Oh yeah, Steven's on. It's Wednesday, so we'll go right over to Stephen Joyce, who is playing Little Kitty Big City. Awesome game. And thank you all for being here. Again, I'm taking tomorrow off of streaming to go look at art. So come by Friday for Tech Friday as usual, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And have a great evening. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I'll see you all on Friday. Bye. Stay tuned for the raid.